All right, so we're going to go to Danielle Stein, Nick Carboni, live at the Spectrum Center. Guys, take it away. Talk about some of the storylines both you guys are talking about and waiting for, along with the fans tonight. 7:30 against the Miami Heat.
Well, Danielle, I'll start with this. Where were you in April of 2016? Let's go there.
Oh, I don't even want to think
The
back
University of Maryland?
Yeah, I might have been somewhere in college taking some courses at the point.
I was applying for the job I have now had, the dream job I have now had for 10 years, covering the Charlotte Hornets and sports in Charlotte. April of 2016 is the last time that this building saw postseason basketball. Of course, that was the certified NBA playoffs. This is now, which has been created since, the NBA's play-in tournament. So the Hornets have to win 2 games this week, including this one against Miami, and that was the team they faced in April of 2016, to get to the playoffs. So Danielle, you've been following this team. I mean, you've seen the life of this team take on a new life of its own since you got here last year.
Right.
Another tough season, a tough start to this season, and what a turnaround.
It's just amazing, and thinking back just to the off season, and it felt like there was this belief, and it's one of those things where you hear the talk of, oh, this is going to be a new year, all that, but then they have that draft class that they did. Then they make a couple moves during free agency to get some guys. They had some longer term deals for some of the guys they wanted to keep around too, and it just felt like something maybe was starting to click. Getting Colin Knippel fourth overall was the catalyst that really brought the Hornets to where they are now. They actually named them his MVP of the season, over someone like LaMelo Ball, who's been equally worthy of that sort of award as well too. But this growth, especially at the turn of the calendar year 2026, starting in January, we saw that 9-run game stretch where they were winning and beating good teams during that stretch too. They've been playing really good basketball as of late.
One of the best teams in the NBA, not just offensively, but defensively, since the calendar turn to 2026. And listen, Danielle, as I mentioned, I've been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball are really kind of the core of this team right now. You add in Brandon Miller and Colin Knippel. They've been here for 6 to 8 years. James Borrego, Steve Clifford a second time.
Yeah.
Nobody could get the core of this young team to play any semblance of defense that it takes to get to a postseason.
Sure.
Charles Lee's been able to do that.
Right.
He has kind of gotten this team to buy in. They've seen proof of concept. And what I always go back to is, and you're from Boston, Charles Lee, when he was an assistant with the Celtics, had just been hired here. He brought up members of this young core to go watch him win an NBA championship.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with, you know, them buying into all of this, especially defensively. But you look offensively, Danielle, you follow the Celtics too.
Yeah.
They look a lot like Boston, don't they, the way they play?
They love to shoot the 3-ball like the Celtics do, and they like to play fast like the Celtics do. But going back to Charles, because I was thinking back to preseason, during media day, we got the chance to talk to everyone up and down the roster, as well as Charles Lee, and he talked about how even though they had a 19-win season last year, there's still a lot that they can take away from that. So I asked Charles just yesterday, thinking back to that statement, now that they've, you know, gone so far the other way, 25-win difference in terms of wins, getting 44 this year, just about, has he taken a moment to think about where they've come from in year 1 under him to year 2? And he said, honestly, he has a little bit taken the time to reflect, and in defense and offense ratings, they've just grown exponentially, and he feels pretty proud. And he said that he and the team all said, we should feel proud for where we are.
And what did Bam Adebayo say? That they're chaotic to guard because they're just a dizzying barrage of three-point shooters. Just a couple of minutes left, Danielle. I want to get to your fantastic piece on Kobe White. What an addition, an important addition he's been to this team mid-season. Tell us about it and when we can watch it on TV tonight.
Yeah, Kobe White has been maybe the most important piece off the bench since he's been traded to the Hornets in February. Everyone knew him across the league. Every time he would play here with the Bulls throughout his career, it seemed like he would really light it up every time he came back to his home state in North Carolina. But now that he is a Hornet, he's really bringing that feeling of home back. He's from Goldsboro, North Carolina, 3.5 hours away. It's a very, very small town. And I talked with him and his sister Tia a little bit about what life is like growing up in Goldsboro, some of the challenges that their family faced. And here he is getting to represent his state on the biggest stage now.
Yeah, I mean, Hornets fans already love Kobe White. Spend another 3 minutes with him in Danielle's piece. You're going to love him even more. He's going to be a huge factor in tonight's matchup against Miami. This will be exercising some demons, Danielle, if the Hornets can pull this off tonight. They've had a tough time against Miami in those playoffs 10 years ago with Dwayne Wade, and even this year with Tyler Hero lighting them up in this building. We'll see if they can do it. If they do, they will go to the second portion of the play, and that'll be Friday night at the loser of Orlando and Philadelphia. Guys will be on TV all night long, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Hit you on the stream one more time at 7 with our partners from Locked On Hornets. Big night. We're all over it, guys. Colin, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, protect the hive, guys. It's going to be an interesting game. Seems like it's almost a blackout.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see some towels back there, so we'll have to see what it looks like.
It's going to be 19,000 screaming fans at Spectrum tonight. So many sellouts this year. They've already set the record. Going to do it again.
Absolutely.
Colin?
All right, guys. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for your reports. We'll see you later tonight. Thanks so much for both your time. Danielle Stein, Nick Carboni, getting things ready for an amazing game tonight against the Miami Heat. Let's go back to a 2-minute break. We'll round out our hour when we come back.